do I handle setbacks in this business as far as me going up and meeting up with a lead or a customer and the item not being the item that they said? It's got a crack in it they didn't tell me about, iCloud locked, it's a lower end phone. How do I handle this? I handle this by doing three things. The first thing that I do is if I meet up with the customer and the item it's not the item that they said, the first thing I do is I will try to reappraise the item. Sometimes, and it's not too uncommon for me to reappraise the item, offer them a lower dollar amount, and me to get it. Now, it doesn't happen all the time, but it definitely happens. Next thing I'll do is I will re-look at the conversation I had to make sure I didn't skip anything. Did I ask if it had any issues with it? If I forgot to ask that for whatever reason, and it ended up being cracked, well, that's not the customer's fault, that's my fault. The third thing I'll do is if I notice a consistent pattern with something happening, I will change my process. So let me give you an example. The number of items that I buy the number of leads I go to meet up with where the item ends up being iCloud locked is very low. Maybe 2 to 3%. It's very, very low. If all of a sudden I started noticing that 10% of the people I met up with, their items were iCloud locked, even after I asked if it had any issues, I would change and adjust my script. I would start asking before the meetup, will the phone be able to be factory reset? To address that issue earlier on in the conversation. The final thing that I do, and this is the main thing because I have the script dialed in now, is simply running numbers. Yesterday, the first meetup I did, the guy told me it was a Flip 5, and I asked if it had no issues, and he said yes, there's no issues, or he agreed to it. He said there's no issues. I go to meet up with a guy, I drive 20 minutes there, I meet up with him, it's got a crack on the screen, and it's got a bad LCD, and it can't be factory reset. I might have even asked him if it could be factory reset, I don't know. I reappraised it in person. I mean, they were going for like $50. It wasn't, I was like, I didn't even buy the item. So I'm a little bit, I negotiated with the guy, I drove 20 minutes there, I walked around the casino, I waited for 10 minutes, wasn't there. Now I still had him leave me a Google review because I'm building those up, but it kind of sucked. The next meetup that I did, the item, it was literally later that day. I think it was the next meetup after him, another brand new lead. The item was a iPhone 13 Pro Max, AT&T, praised it as standard lock, carrier lock, AT&T. After I got the phone, I was able to unlock it through AT&T, making me an extra, I think it was $90. That was the price difference. I just picked up a phone just now. This is a 12 Pro Max, praised it as standard 12 Pro Max, ended up being a 256 gigabyte 12 Pro Max, already carrier unlocked. So that's an extra, I forget, like $110. So a lot of times what I'll do is the main way I fix, in addition to everything else I said earlier about if I have like crappy meetups, is just running the numbers. Just running the numbers. Because it's not too uncommon if I have a couple bad meetups that are kind of crappy and I'm not feeling that good because I'm all excited about the money I'm going to make and then I don't make the money, I just keep doing the meetups. I just keep moving forward. And in my experience, as many times as there are where the meetup doesn't go well, like that phone that was cracked, and it was cracked, it was password locked, and instead of a Flip 5, it was a Flip 3, so it was worth basically nothing. I have basically the same amount of wins as far as me being able to unlock the phone from AT&T for free and making another 50, 80, 100 bucks. It being a higher carrier gigabyte item, and me winning there as well. In fact, an item I picked up just yesterday as well was the final price, I appraised it as I thought it was a 128 gigabyte iPad, and it ended up being a 256 gigabyte iPad. It was another 50 bucks on top of that price. I was going to make 100, I ended up making 150. So a lot of times, just volume, just moving forward, just continuing to take action, I will then make up for that pissed off feeling by getting wins. And that's how I handle when the meetups don't go the way that I want them to go.